What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Protocol Pegasus here, bringing it back to you guys in Remnant from the Ashes, and today we'll be taking an all-new look at the build, the Widowmaker Soul Hunter. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, so taking a look at the build, we are using the hunting pistol with the Very Good Boy mod. We are using the hunting rifle with the weapon mod known as Swarm. We are using the scrap sword, the cultist hat, the Widowmaker's trench coat, the Widowmaker pants. We're using Hangman's memento, Soul Link ring, and Hunter's band. Now let's go into traits. So one of the three primary traits I would recommend for this build are going to be as followed. You're going to take healing effectiveness, max that out first. Then you're going to take the evoker for summon damage. And then last but not least, you're going to take Spirit for mod power generation. Now I always say in each and every one of my videos at the end of the day to capitalize on each and every trait throughout the course of the game, because there is no set cap limit, just maximize your build and makes it that much better. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into some gameplay. Alright, so we are here on Earth playing on Nightmare mode, and I'm going to give you my overall breakdown of the build, thoughts, ideas, why I did what I did, and so on and so forth. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. So the reason I ended up going for the hunting pistol in this particular set is because I love the 1-2 combo that you can do off the hunting pistol. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, is that the hunting pistol gives you the ability to quickly swap to it. You do a first shot, you swap to your other weapon, you do a second shot, and that's pretty much the entirety of the HP of the enemy that you're facing off against, unless it happens to be a boss. But it makes it really nice, really smooth transition. It feels really good, and if you happen to proc a crit or weak spot damage off of that combo rotation, it ends up being that much better, and it just feels really, really nice. Another cool concept that I ended up doing with this is I'm using the dog. So the dog mod allows you to go about not only having a companion to run around and deal damage for you, but because I have the Soul Link ring, any damage he deals, I get 10% health return, which is really good. And if you don't know, the dog actually has a passive perk. If you happen to pet him, it gives you a little buff that allows you to go about regenerating health over time. I forget the percentage that ties into it. It might have been changed, but at the end of the day, the buff is still around. So it is really cool because it does capitalize on overall health regeneration, and it stacks with all other forms of health regeneration perks, like Blood Ward, or if you're using health regeneration armor, or so on and so forth. So it's actually really cool. I ended up utilizing Swarm with my hunting rifle just because Swarm is a really good mod to deal with elites, and it allows me to get the extra additional damage I need to be able to play like the higher end content. So it just makes it that much more optimized, and it allows me to go about setting up the build that I want to without any form of discrepancies in regards to DPS, single target based damage, or crowd control effects, because the Swarm bounces between one enemy to the next, so it works out really nicely. And if you don't know already, the Swarm does not count as a summon. So even though it is something that you can dish out, it looks like tiny little insects that follow you around, it is not considered a summon, so it does not work with the Soul Link ring. A lot of people get confused with that, and they happen to think that it does work with the Soul Link ring. It does not. So just to get that out of the way now, the Swarm is not a summon. The dog, however, is a summon. And you can tell what's a summon and what's not a summon by just reading the text. It will literally say summon. If it does not say summon, it is not a summon. So fun fact. Real quick here in the gameplay that you're seeing right now, this is actually how you get the assault rifle in this little area. So I figured I'd show you guys that. And I figured I would change up the boss fight a little bit and go with something a little bit bigger, just to show off what I can do with this corresponding build and how it works. But honestly, it's a lot of fun. It's lightweight, it's fast, it's accurate. I honestly didn't think I would enjoy the build as much as I did. One of the favorite parts I think that ties into this build at the end of the day is the whole concept and theme about it. Like, you're this wild western type of cowboy that has a dog, and you're going on this epic journey to go about defeating all this corrupted evil within the course of the world, and at the end of the day, it just ties in and looks really, really nice. I'm using One Piece Cultist set to really tie in the overall set. It wasn't really for theme. I just wanted the passive mod regeneration because it's always good to have. That's why a lot of my builds will see One Piece Cultist, because it's just nice. But in reality, it actually ties the set together so nicely. And then I'm using Widowmaker set to be able to amplify the range damage off of like weak spot damage. And of course, utilizing precision-based weapons, you can capitalize on the recon damage that much easier, because it's easier to go about landing like critical hits and to be able to get better target acquisition and so on and so forth. So it just ties in really, really nice. I ended up going to Scrap Sword just because it looks really nice with the set. I don't melee in this game at all, to be honest with you, and when I do, I barely use it. Half the time when I do melee, I always end up getting myself killed. But in reality, melee does have it is a good mechanic within the course of the game. It's just not as impactful, I feel, as doing like mod synergy between your weapons and such and so on and so forth. It's good to have, but I don't use it as often as I should. I ended up doing the Hunter's Band and the Hangman's Memento just for additional damage output, really. And just making it so much more accurate at the end of the day when it comes to the overall build set and the scheme of things, because in reality it just makes it so that way everything transitions and kind of blends together pretty smoothly. But yeah, it works out really well. I had no issues with it. It's a lot of fun. So test out the build yourself. Let me know what you guys happen to think, if there's something I should have changed, if there's something that you would like to see differently, if you end up loving the build, what do you love about it, what do you guys want to see next, what do you guys want me to do. I'm all ears. Post it down below in the comment section. From there, and I'll make your dreams a reality at the end of the day, and I'll see what I can do with what you guys want me to come up with. I love to hear feedback and your ideas. But yeah, it's gonna be pretty much it from me. So if you guys like the video, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys real soon. Later.